Do you ever worry that I've seen too much too soon, or do you think it's made me who I am?
I definitely know that what you have seen has made you who you are. But sometimes I wonder, I won't say I worry, but sometimes I take time out to think and reflect if whatever you have seen, is it building you up or breaking you down? My worry is not what you have seen. My worry is it building you up or is it breaking you down?
How it's affecting me?
How are you taking it? And if
Yes.
if I can do something, or if I need to do something to change the narrative and change the trajectory of where it's heading. But I'm not worried about what you've seen.
उसको तो कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकते.
नहीं कर
हाँ.
सकते. It wasn't my choice. When you were born, I had not decided that you'll have to see this. But given the situation, I had to make a choice whether I want you to see the path A or whether I want you to see the path B. So I made a choice. I don't want to make you see the path B. I want to make you see the path A.
Yeah.
So
I
it
want
was
to point this out. Sorry, I'm interrupting, but people who are watching and listening to this somewhere, they need to see this, and it's underneath what you just said. You're not guilty about anything that has happened.
no.
You're
Yeah.
forgiving yourself. You are not
Yeah.
even taking it on yourself that,
No.
oh, I think it's so important for a person who's separated to actually understand this, that it's not your fault.
It's not.
Yeah. It's not. I think as a divorced parents, you can sometimes feel that did I make
ज़्यादा
my
guilt हो जाता है भाई. हाँ.
did I make my child's life worse? You see your child crying about the divorce, and then you're like,
Because it shows yourself.
exactly, and you're like, maybe 10 साल में ज़्यादा इस person के साथ बिता सकती थी या बिता सकता था.
Just for them to become an adult and everything.
Yeah.
उसके बाद कर लेते.
In my case, I had seen it very clearly that the more I stay in this marriage, the more it is going to harm them.
But even after that, a lot of parents end up actually telling themselves the story that जैसे ये क्वेश्चन उसी की चीज़ के लिए तो है कहीं ना कहीं, तो help each other understand कि क्या चल रहा है. But underlining what I could see, and I think people should understand कि आपको guilty feel करने का ज़रूरत ही नहीं है.
They either have a victim story, guilt story, or a sad
I think
story.
you're
कि
out
ऐसा
of
हो
that
गया.
already, and I think you're out of that drama triangle itself.
Completely. I no longer live in any of those drama places. This have made life very simple. Is it building me up? Is it breaking me down? Same for her. Is it helping me build them up, or is it making me break them down? The same thing. And the same thing I tell her also. Whenever she comes complaining, cribbing about things maybe past or maybe what is happening, whatever, I give her the same mindset. What do you want out of it? How do you want this to impact your life in the coming few months or the coming few years?
I think that's very important to see.
For me, life is not about love, life is not about relationships, life is not about society, life is not about anything. Because at night, when you close your eyes, when you try to sleep, none of it is going to create any comfort, none of it is going to come to you and help you fall asleep, nothing. The only thing that will help you fall asleep is how satisfied are you with yourself.
I believe that.
I also think the same thing. Sometimes I sympathize with myself that, the things that I've seen, it's not something a small child should have gone through or seen. But I'm like, again, if I did not see those things, I would not be who I am today.
Yeah.
So,
Which you're
yes.
proud of.
So I agree to both things that yes, I should not have seen those things, but they're also a big part on what made me
Who you are today. Which
I
you're
am who I
happy
am
with, I
today.
guess.
So yes, so everything happened for a reason. It should not have happened, but it was for the best.
Again, I want to compliment here. अभी लोग को नहीं पता है, adults को नहीं पता कि हाँ जो भी मेरे साथ हुआ, that has shaped me to become this person that I am today, even if I'm happy or unhappy with it. But to see you having this, oh my god, people more like double your age don't understand this. I don't know how other people have.
So, I mean, once I was able to create a safe environment for them, she did have this question so many times that, Mom, I was only an 8-year-old. Mom, I was only a 10-year-old. Mom, I was only this years old. And my only response was, I feel sorry for what you had to go through. Nobody should deserve to go through this. But then all I can do right now for you is how I can help you overcome it and build up from here.
I mean, you were saying that to a child.
Yes.
Because I don't want, because what she's saying is right. She was 12. She didn't deserve
You're not
to see
taking
that.
away from her story, but you're also helping her accept the fact that
This is what it is. You can't change it. Now, do you want to let it become a victim story? Or do you want to...
indirectly तो आप यही बता रहे थे.
So the same thing, either it builds you up, either it breaks you down. What do you want to do?
You can decide if that piece of block will be the one that destroys your entire building or make sure that the building is intact.
Yeah.
It's the blocks are going to be the same, just the way you see them and put them together.
The perspective and how what story you tell yourself, how you place
And
it.
I think for this, I think the biggest credit I'll give is to my mom, because when she was born, my mom always said that there are people who take motherhood as a punishment. कि अच्छा मेरा बच्चा सो रहा है मैं ये नहीं कर सकती, मेरा बच्चा ये कर रहा है मैं ये नहीं कर सकती. Too much of giving away. My mom said, make the child adapt to your routine. Children are flexible. Let them adapt to your routine. That will make your life easier.
And they'll also understand that.
Exactly. And that is where they also learn to be understanding and adaptive.
Because after children become adults, I think they don't even realize that their parents have sacrificed so much that now it's time they don't sacrifice at all. And that becomes a burden. That becomes कि अब कैसे कर रहे हैं ये लोग, अब कैसे कर रहे हैं, मेरे को कैसे छोड़ दिया. But that shouldn't happen at the end of the day.
So I think since her childhood, I always had this habit of making her adapt, not giving up my routine because of her, making her adapt to my routine. So even through all these divorce and everything I was going through, I was told left, right, and center, she's a child, you should not tell her all these things. But then I was like, no, she needs to know, because as a child, she senses something is wrong. Now, if I don't, exactly, now if I don't give her the pieces that these are the pieces, what is wrong, she will start creating her own pieces, which I will not know. And if she has connected those pieces wrongly, I will not be able to correct it because I don't know about it.
So I'd rather आपका एक hold तो है, एक understanding तो है.
Exactly. So I'd rather let her know that this is the devil you are facing, rather than let her imagine what devil.
Let her have the choice of what she needs to do, but not actually narrating कि आपको ये करना है वो करना है.
Exactly. And I tried my best not to make that narrative bias. I don't know how successfully I've done that or not, but I have tried to share the problem with her as pieces of information, not as a bias कि मम्मी अच्छी है, पापा बुरे हैं. Not. This is what the situation is.
You decide what's best for you.
You decide how you want, what narrative you want to create out of it. I don't want you to be biased towards me. I don't want you to be biased towards anybody.
Give her the choice that, okay, you tell what you need to do here rather than... I don't... This is where I, somewhere really want parents to understand कि आपको अपने बच्चों को एक human being जैसा देखना कितना ज़रूरी है as compared to how you see them as your... Because जैसे आप बच्चे जैसे देखते हो, at the end of the day, you end up making them the project of your life. And insecurities build होती है उससे. If you end up seeing them as a human being, then you'll also think about their future. क्योंकि ये impact करेगा. आप जो भी करना as a parent impact करेगा.
Definitely.
करता ही है.
Definitely.
At the end of the day. And I think वहाँ पे that's the self-development a parent can have. कि this is also a human being. I'm taking care of it. That's the only thing I'm... The way you said it उस समय भी. You're not the mother. You're just a person. जिसको experience ज़्यादा है बस ध्यान रखना.
I think her family there are hardships or difficulties, and I think if you as your child starts growing up, you need to tell the child, because let's say if you have something like finance तुम्हारा अच्छा नहीं है, and if you don't tell your child that finance, the kid will go like I want this, I want cake, I want to buy this, why can't we buy this? And if you're not telling your child, then वो खर्चा करता रहेगा. And अगर जो child को भनक लग गई कि there's something wrong, then he'll be on constant alert mode कि पैर टूट गया इसका, ये हो गया, वो हो गया, वो ये हो सकता है, वो हो सकता है. So half information is more dangerous. So
exactly.
So the child,
I didn't want them to have half information.
कुछ normal भी होगा तो अभी it will start overthinking कि इसमें problem है, इसमें कुछ गड़बड़ है, this that. So I think it can be difficult telling your child that there can be dysfunctions in the family, but you'll have to handle it as such. It's better you tell them.
उस जगह में हाथ पकड़ना भी थोड़ा देर के लिए ज़रूरी हो जाता है the support system, but वही है ना कि आप कैसे सोचते हो. Even if for example this didn't work out, this might have not been the case here, and she's a very disruptive person for example, and she becomes that way. I believe that you still wouldn't have actually felt guilty about it.
Yeah. I wouldn't have. So before we shifted to Guwahati, she had become a very disruptive person. She was going on a destructive path. But even in that situation, I didn't take the guilt, because deep down I knew that I have put my best foot forward in every moment. There is no stone that I have left unturned where I can blame myself, where I can play the guess game, or I can play the regret game. I don't have it. So this is something I, at a very early age, at a very younger age, even younger than her maybe, I had decided, I promised to myself that I'm going to live a life where I don't have any regrets. अच्छा हो बुरा हो जो भी है,
Saying it and doing it is two different things, and you have done.
I have lived my life that way. People, even she tells me so many times that you wasted your life doing this and that, or why did you make this decision, why did you make this choice, why did you take this decision, how could you with this. I always tell her that it is what it is. In that moment this seemed the right decision and I took it and lived by it, and in a later moment something else, life turned and different decision had to be taken, I took it. I adapted to my life. But then today also I'm happy to say that there's nothing in my life that I regret.
Why I said that was also because आप तो अभी जो 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 चीज़ आपने बताया वो तो आप कर चुके हो, and I think that's what self work is at the end of the day.
Yes.
Level
Being
of
true to
self work
yourself.
that you're doing makes you go to that space that ki even if it's disruptive or even if it's nice, even if it's something that you can be proud of or you're not proud of, at least you don't take the guilt from it. Because उस समय जो आपने किया कुछ सोच समझ के ही किया. Rather you had a choice, you didn't have a choice, but you did it. उसका रिग्रेट तो आप रख नहीं सकते. हाउ कैन यू टेक द नेक्स्ट फुट, जैसे आपने बोला, द नेक्स्ट फुट दैट यू पुट फॉरवर्ड, it depends all on that. And that's why I wanted to just point this out. I think at the end of the day people need to see both perspectives कि अगर आपने something is screwed up because of your steps, it doesn't mean that you take the guilt forever, because that guilt is something that you transfer to your child. उसके बाद तो फिर आप क्या करो, फिर तो सब बह ही रहा है. Nothing is something that you can control.
I say this to my friends also. They're like, I should have done this. I should have done this. So I tell them that in that moment, in that point of time, you thought this was the best, and that is why you took that. Okay,
आप बेटर कैसे कर सकते हो, आप देखो.
exactly. You had no idea that what would happen in the future. You did what was best, and if you feel like you did not do your best, there has to be again a reason for it. Maybe you had a risk which you were not willing to take, and you did not take that risk, and that's understandable too.
Something that you learn from it and then take the next step around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on this point, I really, since you're talking about guilt, I just really wanted to share this. Guilt is not something you take as an adult only. I was working with her and she was going through something, and I was helping her reflect, introspect, and find the root cause. And what she came up with was that, mom, in some past moment, dad had an unacceptable behavior and I took the blame. I started feeling guilty that I did not do anything to
I remember
protect
this
you.
conversation. Yeah.
She said, I feel guilty of not being able to protect you, and that is why I'm behaving or whatever I'm going through and all. And that is where I had to rewrite the story that, sweetheart, you were a child. You were not supposed to take care of me. I'm the mother. I was supposed to take care of you. So forgive yourself first. So the guilt is something, whether somebody teaches you or not, the human nature is such that it starts building up from a very early age. The moment they feel any association with any person, guilt becomes a package with it. And people need to learn to identify where they're carrying the guilt. And I think after she was able to realize that and let go of that guilt, I could see a lot of shift in her, in how she was taking decisions and how she was responding to me. Because that is where she realized she not only did the let go of the guilt, but then she also accepted the fact that she's not supposed to protect mama. The river flows up. Exactly. So now she's learning to feel safe. Until now, she was thinking that mama is also unsafe. I need to protect mama.
So that I don't have to feel.
Exactly. So she's finally coming to learn to settle down that yes, mama is now creating a safe space. And now, so it was a very important lesson for her to learn that the river flows up to down. It doesn't flow the reverse way.
The other way. Yes. Thank you.
So
Thank you.